A lot of times when you think you're being profound, you're really just being a twat. Hey, listen, I've got about 18 different personalities this month, and all of them work at Spencer's Gifts and are on a break right now. A lot of you out there are wanting your life to be an art, but you're living like a 90s sitcom. You're tired, you're run down, and you're really only something to be paid attention to at night when there's nothing else to do. So today's going to be a little different because I feel different. And I woke up this morning and I wasn't feeling profound, but I had a lot of questions. And so I thought that that was a better energy to share. A lot of times when you think you're being profound, you're really just being a twat. And you can write that on your doorpost and kiss it before you go to bed. I was thinking today about what is art. I was thinking today about the word art, artifice, artificial, and how we slap that word on things, how we all can mean something different, but yet the same when we say that's art. Art has always kind of been a gray sea, and I think that it's something we all need to go into boldly. We'll get more out of it if we go in with a compass. And it's weird for me to say this because everything in me that's wild wants to say go in there free, but I know that without some kind of rubric, it does just look like that. It looks like this vast gray sea. I feel like I walked into that sea or ventured into that sea armed with very few things. I didn't have a ton of poetry in my life until I was in my early 20s. A lot of my poetry came from the Bible, but there were so many people saying things with the spaces in between their words that I wish I could have experienced. And so I feel like in my early 20s, I did a lot of making up for lost time. I tried to read as much as I could, and I tried to get as much music into my system as possible. I don't know about most people. Can you hear my cat in there? How could you miss it? He's making me hungry. Got some chips in there somewhere, I know I do. I think it's important that we venture out into that vast gray sea of art with a compass, knowing what people found before us. A lot of the scholarly crowd really hates Stephen King, but I love Stephen King. I love his stories. He said it best. You have to be a great reader to be a great writer. More than teaching someone something, I think we have this desire to connect humanity. Because think of how interesting it is that you will hear a song like, all by myself, don't wanna be all by myself. And you will all of a sudden have the burden of aloneness lifted because you have connected to another person who feels so very alone. So in expressing this specialness that we feel, this uniqueness we must feel in order to put a pen to paper or to let a melody escape our lips, we are communicating how not special we really are. This is like some shitty poetry that I write down, you know, when I get I go in and out of a practice of writing daily. And when I'm in the practice, it's the first thing I do because my mind is fresh, and every once in a while a worthwhile thought will eke out. But I wrote this one, and I've got gobs of these. Sooner or later you accumulate 8. And you're like, well, this was cool because I'll never get any of these out. because I won't know where anything is. I don't know where my asshole is half the time. So I remember when I wrote this, and I'm reading this against my better judgment. It ain't good, but I want to prove to other people that I also have that experience where I will make something and not identify with, I don't know who this person is that wrote this. Let the creeks cry out for bow-legged boys to tread their waters once more. Let the droplets shine on their skin like diamonds before they turn to tears, a paradise lost. Let the bonfires blaze like torches for sanctuary with friends and family. Let their flames lick the air with the glee, as if they might catch a whiff of their... I can't even read my own damn writing. So that shows you, I don't know who this person is. But, you know, I remember at the time I was reading Paradise Lost again. I'm having a cringe moment because I'm realizing that wasn't conscious at the time. It's just, you know, it's iterative, and that bothers me. That bothers me to know that I have this desire for mimicry. But obviously, I mean, who's going to mimic Milton? And so to go back and visit that is illuminating and I think necessary, but it causes pause in me because I think, shit, who the fuck wrote this? And can I trust myself to ever write again if I hate what I've written already? But yet the compulsion circles back around. You think you'll never write again because you're like, well, I'm a failure this time. But yet that compulsion comes back, and it really is a pulsing in you. And that makes it sound sexual, but it kind of is, because it's a life force in you that cannot stop. And that's the thing. It's like when people, surely to God, no one's asking the question, why do you create anymore? That's got to be the most tired shit, right? We've retired that question, right? Now, I wrote this morning, and I like it right now, but I'm sure that's because whatever style I'm consuming at the moment, this is an echoing of it. These little paragraphs that I think is going to go cohesively into a father piece. But I regret not fishing more with my dad as a child. We went often, probably more than most, but he asked me more than I said yes. And guilt comes to me easier than pride. And I had my own special rod and my own special life jacket, purple and lime green. And there is something sad about a child's things in a boat, but no child. Now, I like that right now, but I'll read that in 2 months and I'll say, what a dumb bitch. Now, is that good? No, but I don't know that I've got a choice. And sometimes that's the war of art with your own self, where you kind of, I'm not doing cocaine, I swear to God. It's these allergies. I'm sure you can see it all over my eyes and everything. I know that I'm in constant flux. There's a peace to be found when you just accept that you're going to be in a constant state of flux. You know, I'm an artist, so I don't like having to write a bio and having to put a brand on shit. Because what I want to say is, hey, listen, I've got about 18 different personalities this month, and all of them work at Spencer's Gifts and are on a break right now. Lover. Easy light storms in through the window, soft. Edges of the world smudged by mist, a squirrel's nest rigged high in the maple. I've got a bone to pick with whoever is in charge. All year, I've said, you know what's funny? And then nothing is funny, which makes me laugh in an oblivion is coming sort of way. A friend writes the word lover in a note, and I'm strangely excited for the word lever to come back. Come back, lever, come back to the 5 and dime. I could squeal with the idea of blissful release, oh lever. What a word, what a world, this gray waiting in me. I need to nestle deep into the safekeeping of sky. I am too used to nostalgia now, a sweet escape of age. Centuries of pleasure before us and after us, still right now, a softness like the worn fabric of a nightshirt. And what I do not say is, I trust the world to come back, return like a word long forgotten and maligned for all its gross tenderness, a joke told in a sunbeam. The world walking in, ready to be ravaged, open for business. So she wrote that during quarantine. So after I have that beautiful bouquet of emotions happening in me, I have to debrief and I gotta go. All right, I'm not this bitch. That ain't my job. My job is not to talk like her. If we were in the same room and we were conversing, we would sound totally different. And so should our art. One thing's for sure, it should be painfully specific and painfully honest. Others will find themselves that specificity. Even when it's a terrain that you have never traversed, when it's a road you ain't traveled, when somebody describes their human experience with that painful detail, you'll be able to empathize with it. And that's what we gotta do. We gotta keep being honest and feel like if you're an artist out there, or if you're somebody trying to do something and you're like, I'm fucking feeling clueless. Me too. I am damn clueless. I don't know what the shit I'm doing. I wake up every damn day and I'm like, I need to quit this shit. I need to go drive a school bus. But then they'll see my driving record and be like, this bitch used to drink like a damn fish. We are not putting her behind a school bus wheel. Let's put this on. It's something to do. Nah. So, daily, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to quit this shit and I ain't going to do no more. I ain't got to say another damn word. And then it never fails. Somebody will send me this big long email about how my stupid shit helped them when they were going through surgery and they were in a lot of pain. You get up the next day and all of a sudden you've got juice in your battery again. And you're like, I'm doing it for Sheila or whoever the hell sent the email. You know, I don't go out giving advice because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And more people honestly should be like me in that regard. Shut the hell up. I'll say this boldly. You ought to ask weird, painful, awkward, disturbing questions with your art. Unearth some things in yourself. Do it as therapy. You don't have to, and you probably shouldn't put out all of it. Some of my favorite art has a big old question mark at the end. Or the whole thing is that. But it stuck with me. It made me feel something. I think a lot of us are afraid of what we might unearth if we make the art that we want to make. I put out a song recently, and I knew that most people wouldn't like it because people want bangers, and I don't write bangers, honey. I write bombs, and they'll appreciate it someday. I really believe that because I know it comes from a really special place and it's pure, but most people don't get it. But I feel good about it because that means it's not rhetorical. People don't get it right off the bat. I'm getting to where, you know, I got my hands are starting to get to where they look old too. Look at them laugh lines. I can't tell you how many times a day I go by the mirror doing this. My husband's like, what are you doing again? I said, just thinking about whether or not I'm going to do the filler or not. I've never had filler, but listen, I ain't above it. I have this Ronald McDonald face right now. I'm pooped out. Ugh.